Bam! Going live. Welcome to the show tonight, everybody. Pro Se Legal School. We provide the tools you need to take control. And shut down the court process, too. I'm throwing that in there. Yeah, they're hollering at me. You can't say that. I got two bosses, and they sit on each one of my shoulders. Okay, sorry. Actually, I got more than two bosses. I'm running late tonight because one of my, I don't know, my 13-year-old boss, my granddaughter Jocelyn, called me today and messaged me to come pick her and her friends up from the trampoline park so they could come hang out. And then on the way home, we passed by these people that was these Mexican people was cooking the stuff on the side of the street, shaving the stuff off of dust. The same thing they do in that fancy restaurant. What's the name of that restaurant where they cook the meat on the grill and then bring it out to your table and shave it off of their thing? But they didn't have tables. They just shaved it into the tacos that they made. Oh, it was so delicious. Okay, anyway, so I got distracted. Yeah, I picked them up, and then we passed by that food, and then we had to go to the bank and get some money to go back get that food. Okay, so y'all know that food is a priority for me. And so are my grandbabies and their friends. So anyway, so in tonight's live stream, we're going to give you guys an update on what's going on with getting Anthony out of jail. And, you know, we filed a document demanding his pre-settlement conference release. And I'm just going to kind of move forward to the thing and not the tiny stuff that suck up the time. Okay. And we filed, well, you guys already know, we filed a counterclaim in their lawsuit for $200 million. But before we did that, we added the government, we added the prosecutor and the judge as plaintiffs to their own action. I bet your attorney friends didn't tell you could do that. So we just added them to their own action as in a counterclaim, and came after them for $200 million, and so you know, we haven't even got around to filing the lawsuit where Anthony's the actual plaintiff now, because he's pretty much kicking them in the face, and he's still a defendant. Now, I don't do this for everybody, so I want to go ahead and throw that on the table. I'm doing this for Anthony because he figured out a way to earn my respect from jail. Oh, hell no, I ain't telling y'all what he did. It wouldn't matter. Okay, so keeping it real, you know, this prosecutor eliminated package is undefeated, but I don't get reviews on it because in the federal government or the state government, it don't matter. It crushes both their asses. They make you sign a non-disclosure statement. And I'm fine with that. And the people who invested in my shit, as long as they're happy, I'm good. Now, if I can be ecstatic. Okay, sorry. Okay, so Anthony and I agreed that I would do, and well, actually Anthony's family, because his girl Amanda and Anthony's mom, and we'll leave her name out of it, okay, are the ones that actually hired me, and I actually work for them and not Anthony, which means I'm not practicing law without. Oh, license? Is there a license? Oh, wait, that's 3 more videos. Let's stay focused. Okay, so, you know, we filed some things, and we filed the demand to be pre-settlement conference release. They arrested him without probable cause, without a warrant, and they had the private security at South Point Casino in Las Vegas arrest him based on Facial recognition. But the problem with that shit is the DEA is the one that entered the false information in for the facial recognition. Okay, but none of that matters. Okay, well, actually, it does matter because a private corporation does not have judicial authority to arrest anybody that's not there to injure customers or harm the business. So the facial recognition is not, oh, wait. If you're going to be arrested, if you're going to have a federal agency have these podunk people arrest you, you think they at least have a damn warrant. Oh, wait. If they had a warrant, they wouldn't need to have your rights violated by a private security company that works for South Point Casino. Now, I wonder how many times South Point, because they did this to, how many times South Point Casino arrested their own damn customers that came in with their family to enjoy their facility. I wonder how many people have, if you've been arrested at South Point Casino without a warrant, I'm thinking you should probably be doing the same thing that Anthony's doing. Invested in the program. Well, he's having me do it, but you could do it yourself, and that's the beauty of what we do here. The real-time feedback, rolls out the pass. Okay, so they denied his release, but they didn't say why. And what they sent to deny his release it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. It did not make any sense. Now he has a counterclaim filed for $200 million, and then he's got a demand for, So they had to rule on that demand to release him. Now, some of the family is a little grumpy, okay, because they thought, whatever. Okay, so I think what people need to remember is that what we're doing right now is charting new ground. Okay, we're charting new ground. Now, we've got several people that have blocked them from taking them to jail. But we haven't gotten anybody out yet until now. No, he's not out yet, but he's going to be. Y'all work with me. So this whole thing they said they sent him is just a bunch of BS based off of their statutes and codes that we already know are not a valid law, are not valid laws because they don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. They don't have the three things the Constitution states must be present for something to be a law. Statutes and codes are not valid laws. They're public policies. They're public. Yeah. So the order here basically was denying his pre-trial release. And they mentioned a couple of things that he filed, which he shouldn't have filed if I'm running the show without, the coach is running the show. There's no hurry to doing this. Okay, there's no hurry. And the only hurry that you could have in my head in doing this is being able to respond or reply or trump their ass, whatever you want to call it, in a couple of days or in a short amount of time. You get 14 days. Okay. That's the only hurry we can do because we're doing shit right now that nobody's done. So we have to wait until they get their happy ass up off the mat and respond. Now, I have a lot of people who just they file stuff and the response don't come, so they're freaked out, and then they file some more shit, and then what happens is the first thing that you filed just got checked down because you filed some more shit now. And they're going to say, well, we don't have to answer that shit because you filed this shit. And then they wait a while and you file something else. Damn, that gets checked down too. About the second check down, they're going to start filing their shit and throw your shit out. Because they know you're going to keep checking down until your shit's thrown out because you didn't watch the updated instructional videos and you don't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so this habeas corpus, this writ of habeas corpus, I never done one of these before. So I started studying it, and basically, after the first hour, I was done with that shit. I'm serious. Okay, so the habeas corpus, the procedures and all shit that they have you do, jump and do hoops and jump and do all this stuff. All you're doing, if you do it their way, all you're doing is responding to their procedural violations. Read that shit. Oh, how many times you appeal? What was the judge's ruling? Did you have a second appeal? It even asked for your third damn appeal on a freaking thing. That was pissing me off. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to be too loud. That was pissing me off. They're asking about your third appeal. So what happens when you appeal? You're still sitting in jail. Your shit's still getting thrown out in the yard. Oh, wait. We're in their conventional program on that appeal shit and all of that stuff. We don't wait no time over there. Okay, so the writ of habeas corpus is forcing them to bring state citizen to the court and address the situation. And when you're studying to do how to write a writ of habeas corpus, you print off the stuff that you have to. It's like 14 pages. 14 pages of shit going back and forth. What did the judge say? What the hell? We don't give a shit about none of that. The habeas corpus that we put together, that I put together. Okay, I guess this could say we, but okay. So the habeas corpus that we're offering at Pro Se Legal School, winningcourtnow.com, that habeas corpus is not going to address none of that crap that they said. And we put it right at the gate on the table. Our habeas corpus is going to address the shit that happened at the gate. Oh, okay. What are you talking about, Coach? Well, when you get to how many appeals, 3 appeals, 4 appeals, how many decisions the judge made that violate your due process because the judge is getting paid by the state and the state is the plaintiff, the one that's screwing you up. Yeah. Oh, when you get that's way too far down the hole. I was gonna say down this shitty stream of we'll just go to hole. It's way too far down the hole. Okay, if somebody violated you, and I'm just gonna throw this out here because I know some people don't quite get it. If somebody violated you, would you want to address that violation in court from, work with me, from way the hell down there closer to the end of the trail, using their rules and theirs and their or would you want to address the fact that there was not probable cause to arrest you in the first place? Without probable cause, your due process has been violated. Not only were you falsely arrested, you were falsely imprisoned, and then all the other things that come after that. When they tap into your trust, we don't mention that in the lawsuit, but there is that. And then they embarrass you, run your shit. What happened at the gate? At the gate for Anthony, he got arrested without a warrant, without probable cause, without a warrant, and he was arrested by security agency working for a corporation. They don't have jurisdiction to arrest. They don't have guns. Anthony and his family was at their casino to have a good time, and he got arrested because the DEA agents used this facial recognition bullshit to violate people's rights all the time. They call on the corporation. They think, well, if his facial recognition pulls him up, he must be really bad. Maybe he is. But if there ain't no warrant to arrest him, they screwing up. They screwed up. They're screwing your end up. I tried to add it all together. He was arrested without probable cause, without a warrant. Okay, so if I'm running a security firm for South Point Casino in Las Vegas, and I get a random call, or maybe the call wasn't random. Maybe they call all the time and do this shit. I don't know. I'm not smart as them. But if I'm the head of security at South Point Casino and they get a call and say, we need to arrest these 14 people, pull them up on your facial recognition. Or one. Let's make it easy. We don't have to make it complicated. I want you to arrest this one person over there. Pull him up on your facial, and you'll see that he's going to come up. And when you get our job done, I'll come in. Okay. And then I'm going to say, okay, guys, first of all, do you have a warrant? If you don't have a warrant for the man's arrest, then y'all some bullshit. I'm just saying. Do you have a warrant? And if you do, then why y'all asses don't arrest him yourself? Oh, what? You think he's gambling with your money that you gave him? Okay, sorry. I don't know anything about any of that. I just throwing that shit in. Okay, think about it. Why wouldn't they arrest him on their own? Why are they in a rush? because this is something that they do regularly. In the conventional program, you're just going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the illegal process, the legal process, the illegal. Oh, wait. It's all illegal because administrative. It's all illegal because it's administrative process. Administrative process. So we've been working to get Anthony out, and we filed some other stuff. I'm going to make a video and just show you guys the title of all the stuff that we filed. And when we get him out, this is going to be the online course for the prosecutor eliminated package, teaching people how to get them out. But right now, this is what we bring into the table for Anthony. And I'm going to show you guys second page because we ain't playing. We ain't playing over her. Yeah, look on this side of it. Yeah. So basically, on the first page, we go in letting him know, he's a private citizen, and we're asking the honorable court. Damn, I didn't see that. So, but it's all right. Could be honorable when we get done beating ourselves. For immediate release for unlawful confinement as he's held in custody in direct violation of the Constitution of the United States and the fundamental principles of due process and civil liberties. The Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution is the supreme law, and no corporate court rules, can. Now, we also addressed the fact that the court lacked jurisdiction. Now, that's something that I put, and I'm going to show you that too. So anybody that wants to look that case up, the court lacked jurisdiction because criminal statutes are not valid laws. And the petitioner is not a U.S. citizen. Okay, the petitioner is not a U.S. citizen. And I know, Coach, what are you talking about? There's 2 U.S. citizens that I'm aware of. Maybe there's more. But the 2 that I'm aware of are I'm actually only aware of one, and that's a citizen of the Republic of States you were born in. That's, to me, is a U.S. citizen, but a citizen of the United States of America. That would be a better way to put it. The other U.S. citizen is a corporate, your strongman person that they created to do all this stuff and get away with shit. So the petitioner is not a U.S. citizen, and Anthony filed the fancy ass affidavit for denial of corporate existence. Bam! Oh, sorry. Let me put my tea down. Bam! That's all right. I didn't have to have my tea to throw my punch because I'm still at an undisclosed location, as y'all can see. So anybody wants to come here and punch me, gonna have to buy some shit out there. And it's gonna be real noisy. Wow. So then we just came in with a statement of facts that Mr. Washington was arrested without a warrant by private security agents under the direction of the DEA, Venice and Lyman. The arrest was made by facial recognition technology. Yep, the arrest was made using facial technology and without probable cause, without judicial oversight, and without respect for the constitutional safeguards required for such a grave action. And the man was also denied his right to choice of representation because they wouldn't let Amanda file anything in the case for over a year. They moved him all around and they blocked her from filing anything in the case. And the only reason that things got filed is because, well, I emailed it over to him and I mailed it to Anthony and I emailed her a copy so everybody could send stuff in. I had no idea that the federal court would file that shit, but I emailed it to all of the judges in both North and South Dakota, the chief judge, the prosecutor, the federal government. I may email it to a lot of people. So, and then we just go on and we discuss the fact that they forced him into a trial with a paid attorney that was paid by the same corporation that's responsible for his unlawful arrest. The state of North Dakota and the federal actors acted under the code of the law to deprive Mr. Washington of his liberties, his dignity, and civil protections. His so-called criminal case was built, it was built on void statutes. If there's no injured party, then it's and those statutes lack the enacting clause, a title, and a body. And those things, if those things aren't present, then we're So the constitutional violation of the 14th Amendment. No valid warrant exists. There was no probable cause demonstrated, and this person was seized without lawful justification. And so then we have the 5th and the 14th Amendment because he was denied his due process, equal protection. He was denied his due process, equal protection, and the court process lacked the legitimate judicial authority to hold him or do anything to him. Okay, so then we have the 6th Amendment. He was denied meaningful access to effective, independent legal representation up until now. Access to independent. Oh, I like the way that sounds. Let me take a sip. Okay, and then Article 3, the administrative body masquerading as a court lack judicial authority under the Constitution. The Supremacy Clause, invalid criminal statutes not enacted by proper constitutional authority were used to justify the unlawful arrest and detention. We bringing fire to the table. This is my water. I was gonna put some water on my head, but I want to get my shit wet. I've been working on this for a minute, and I don't know. Most of the people know me when I say I'm gonna do something, then I do it. I'm gonna get it done. Now, some shit take a long time. At the end of the day, I'm not here to get him out quick. I mean, if I could, we would. Okay, but we're here to get him out. And I know the bullshit that they do. And you guys need to remember this when you're using your stuff. Oh, they haven't answered. I haven't heard nothing. Oh, is your ass still in your house? Is your ass still out? I want to answer first, okay? Because in my program, the only thing I'm promising Y'all asked that we're gonna stop the court process. Okay, and well, there's something I promised before that. Sorry, I got distracted. And that is y'all ass gonna have some fun. Okay. So those are the constitutional violations. Okay, so now we're going in with our claim for relief. Now, the funny thing is, and maybe when I'll do a video and I'll go through all of the pages of bullshit that they tried to make me use to write this with. Okay, because I'm on the third page right now, and we about to go down to the claim for relief. Now, if I wrote this shit the way they wanted me to do, then I would have all these pages. Well, there hasn't been an appeal and 3 appeals. Maybe there's 4. I didn't know. There hasn't been. Okay, but the judges, what happened? The judges, the first decision, third decision. No. How about none of the damn decisions? Okay, because it's all bullshit. So in the claim for relief, Mr. Washington respectfully demands the following. And I don't like no respectfully shit, but in the claim for relief, that sounds kind of pretty because, yeah, we burned it. That's how the young people do it now. Yeah, somebody's getting burned over here. All right, sorry. In the claim for relief, okay, Mr. Washington respectfully demands the following relief. Immediate release from unlawful custody under 28 U.S.C. Section 241. The court to formally recognize that the procedures used in his arrest and prosecution violated his constitutional due process. Okay, the procedures used in the arrest and prosecution and illegal detention and all of that, and continued to violate his due process. Let's just keep it simple. I'm not that smart, so we just have to keep it simple. Okay. So restitution and compensation for the physical, the mental, the legal damages suffered under the unlawful detention, including recognition of his $200 million counterclaim tied to the ongoing RICO operation against him. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot in this room. Yeah, I'm gonna do them firearms out of the cabinet over there or something. I don't know. Okay, I'll chill it down just there. So that was there's more to the claims for relief. We got another page over here. Well, we ought to go all the way down to the conclusion. Okay, so we're also demanding an injunction to prevent further harassment and use of facial recognition or corporate security as a proxy for state police or federal police to violate private citizens without due process. Yeah, we're going to ask that they change the policy. Now, if they want to screw it with me on that, then we'll just file another claim, and we'll jam the ass up for violating Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. Now, if you want to look up the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, because maybe you think, oh, you got whatever, that's fine. But if you don't put of 1946 on the end of that shit, you're going to get Cornell law library watered down bullshit. But I read all of that. I read Cornell's bullshit, and I read these other people's bullshit, and I read all this stuff. So I'm just going to save you some time. But you can go read the shit if you want to. Okay, so we're demanding an injunction to prevent, to cut that shit out. And, I know they ain't going to want to do it. They ain't going to do it. They'll have to do something. And these are the kind of things that you demand out of the asses to force them to visualize the shared liability. Okay, so the shared liability is they can't keep making money. They can't keep making money if your ass is costing them more than they're making. Or at least that's, Okay, now I'm, I know they ain't no real money, I ain't getting it twisted in my head, nothing. Y'all need to keep up. Okay. So when you file your $200 million lawsuit, and Susan asked me, well, do you file a lien against your property? Okay, my property is not, okay, I don't have no property. Most people's property is not worth $200 million, okay? Okay, if I got a lawsuit for $200 million, I don't give a shit about that property. I don't give a shit about getting back in and showing them people that is I don't give a shit about none of that emotional shit. I'm going to demand, half of the 200 million. Okay. I'm going to put a lien against the recorder of deeds office and their assets. That's what I would do. I'm going to put a lien against the land bank that's illegally selling your shit. I'm going to put a lien, if it's me, okay, I'm going to put a lien against the Register of Deeds Association if I'm facing foreclosure. Because between the Register of Deeds Association and the Recorder of Deeds Office and their assets and the land bank, I don't know. I think you can come up with 200 million. Okay. Work with me here. All right. Work with me here. As a coach, okay, if you're, you look down the road, okay, so you probably can come up with 200 million just in the land bank. Okay, but they're going to screw around and keep pissing you off. So you need to file a supplemental plea and jump that shit to 400. Okay, sorry. And so we're also, excuse me, Anthony. Y'all see why I'm saying that now. Okay. And his family are also demanding that $200,000 be deposited into pro se legal schools. Yeah. Bank account. or because we ain't trying to slam the door on that shit, because maybe what we're doing on here is worth more than 200,000. Or what those asshole attorneys would have charged to do the beat down like we did on their ass. So we might be up to another 200 million. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Now I'm throwing this one on the table, and And I've been working on this for a while. And when I'm just looking at it here, I'm going to speak to it. And I'm thinking, I might have should have had this one at the top of the list. I don't know. I'll have to ask Amanda what she thinks. I maybe should have had this one at the top of the list, but it just depends on how you want to do this. Okay? Because sometimes it's good to let them see, feel, share that visualized liability. Sometimes it's good to let them feel what you bring in before you tell them what you really want. Let me change that, because that didn't work out in my head. They're telling me no, dude. Now, let me change that. Sometimes you can change what you need to have done first. That's and when I tell you what this one is, you understand. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Stop screwing with me. Okay, so number 7 of the claims for relief is a first-class plane ticket for Anthony to return to his family in Ohio. And then we're also, I mean, I'm 6'7". I've flown some places. I don't know how tall Anthony is. But I've been locked up before too. I ain't never been charged with shit, and I ain't never took no deal. So if anybody's coming to the table saying they ain't been convicted, excuse me, I ain't never been convicted, and I ain't never took no deal. So if anybody comes to the same, you got to throw those two things in there. Okay, so but I'm thinking that we might have to upgrade this because Amanda and her family, Anthony's mom and the people, they might want to fly out and get him. So they may need more than one ticket. And it's going to have to be in first class or in that front place where the big ass tall people sit who have money. I haven't sat there. I did one time when one of my superhero kids bought me a ticket. But anyway, okay. And so the last claim for relief is to shut down the Richland County Jail. Now I threw that shit in myself. Okay. From listening to Amanda telling me about how sick her man got from eating food with green mold and stupid. So now we're down to the conclusion. And the Constitution cannot be suspended for corporate convenience or administrative ease. Okay, Mr. Washington's continued detention is a moral and legal offense. This court must rise above the machinery of heirs and restore justice to a man whose rights have been trampled with impunity. Yeah, she just hot had looked that up. But that's what it is. His rights were trampled with impunity. He seeks not just freedom, but affirmation, reaffirmation that the law still protects the people from tyranny. Okay, so when I was studying for the conventional habeas corpus, they said in this little tiny paragraph, add any evidence that you have. There's hoping you to add to judge's decisions or any of that stupid shit. But we have some evidence, but we didn't add that. What we have, is the affidavit of for denial of corporate existence. Y'all ask know what that is. Fire out the hole, baby. Oh, so now we have verification, and his copy is signed and notarized. Mine's not signed and notarized. His copy is signed and notarized. That's not a U.S. citizen. Okay. Nobody can be a damn U.S. citizen. And I'm going to tell you right now why. Y'all sat down and listen. Siéntate, escúchame, por favor. Nobody can be a U.S. citizen because nobody can be born in a fake-ass corporation. To be a U.S. citizen, you have to be born in the federal government in Washington. Oh, wait. Washington, D.C. is not the federal government. Washington, D.C. is Washington, D.C. The federal government is a corporation in Washington, D.C. There, I say that. I said it. Okay, so that's proof that he's not a U.S. citizen. So he has diplomatic immunity, pretty much. But you know, that ain't enough. We already stuck that up in their face. And we don't do shit asking for a damn trial. You see this stuff over here, pending pre-settlement conference. And you know why? I'll tell you. When you get done adding their asses to their own shit as plaintiffs in your counterclaim, I know it sounds like I'm talking shit, and I am, and I'm backing it the hell up. When you add them to their own action as plaintiffs for $200 million, now you just file your. Oh wait, maybe we should answer to their shit. We answer with this right here, a counterclaim for $200 million after you added their assets to their own shit as plaintiffs. Now, if anybody got a better idea than that, okay, y'all, somebody need to freaking send me an email, okay? Now, I'm not saying that, you know, this idea and what we're doing here comes from the real-time feedback from people doing what they've been doing, punching these people in the face. So those are the exhibits that we're going to use along with the document that we put together, the Writ of Habeas Corpus, and this is what the judge filed, and it's just a bunch of crap. And the only thing in it that's relevant, so to speak, is that he denied releasing this young man. And then he denied a few other things that he had filed either after or before we started. Okay. But I'm going to ask you something. You can look right on there. Oh, you don't need to look on there. Do you think they denied this stuff using a finding of facts and the conclusions of law? This is what I was asked in the family when they contacted me, maxed out. it's probably not a good idea to contact me when y'all asses are maxed out or freaked out or in fear or angry or whatever. Okay, because I'm probably not going to have the number one response that you'd like to have. You're not going to hear, which I don't care. The emotional shit should be chunked and parked at the gate, not the curb. And this criminal shit, your emotions need to be chunked and parked down at the gate, down there where the guards are. At the gate, way the hell down there. Okay, because it interferes with your ability to move forward with the shit that you learned. You know why? Think about it. Your emotional fear for this shit jumps your ass over in the conventional program where you've been living for so long. But if you're investing in my stuff, your ass ain't over there. You're not over there. If you invested in my stuff and you watched the instructional videos and you did what you're supposed to do, you're not going to be over there. Okay, so I don't need to hear all that because you ain't over there. Now, if you think you're over there, you're looking backwards. Okay, and that ain't going to help you either. Here, we take care of the problem. And the problem is these people that are doing the stuff that they're doing. Yep, no injured body or no body. It could be a dead body. Okay, sorry. See, this is, yeah. My ADD is great for what I do, but sometimes it gets me in trouble. Well, actually, there is. It's your straw man. I mean, I know on our side they say it's not, but they have it over there and they're attacking. That's why they want to lock your ass up. So I guess it's what you believe. Now sometimes I have three people, one on this shoulder, one on this shoulder, and then I have this other little skinny dude on my head. You're absolutely right. But, so the way I look at it is like this. That would be totally correct, my dog, if we were in a program where shit was fair. So we ain't in that place. Welcome to the show tonight, Frederick, and my dog. I don't know Lasser or Spooner, but thanks to my dog, I'd rather just use my verbiage because I understand it. It's what I grew up with. Ow. And people realize that when people realize that when you don't talk like them, no offense, but so I just, without waiting for their response, where do you go? People get mad, they're taking too long or whatever. They have to respond at some point in time, especially if you stick something sticky up their ass like we did with the demand to be released on pre-settlement conference. And then they, whatever. So we have to wait for them to respond. And when they respond, then we already know it's going to be bullshit, and so do they. And we know it's going to be bullshit. Amanda told me that the wording on there was very intimidating or very stern or yeah. That's how they get when they get mad. When they get mad, they start talking like, yeah, they're going to chop your arm off if you don't do that shit. Okay, but it's administrative bullshit, and you don't have to do that shit unless you agree. There you go. Okay, so we wait for their response, and then we decide what we're going to do, or excuse me, we prepare what we need, and then we let them decide. So they did their thing, and we already have the writ ready to go, and we still have 14 days, 3-4 weeks. We still have 10, 11, maybe 12 days. But I never take that long. I don't know. No, they'll get a response to this next Monday or Tuesday or whenever the mail. Because I'll have it ready. It ain't gonna take me long. It ain't taking long for this. They just okay, but the main thing that I wanted to stay focused on was getting him out of jail. I know I can answer this shit later. This is bullshit anyway. And we're gonna be crushing that judge to the shit. People tell me, oh well, the judge, if you're not, if the judge is able to do shit to you, then you don't understand how we roll. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, if the judge is able to do shit to you and you can't figure out what to do, then you don't understand how we roll. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time and showing up tonight. These documents that we're putting together. So far, I've been selling to people interested as individual documents, but when I get the online course set up, then all of these documents that we're talking about now for this will be only offered in the course. So, not a call to action to rush anything. Oh, and I know Frederick's been keeping up with all the fancy ass shit, and he sent me an email saying he got the ass on the run, and so that's pretty damn badass. That's what the plan is. You're welcome, Dustin. Thank you for showing up. Now I'm going to skate on out of here, and I know I'll probably go to bed because I'm getting tired. Do I look tired? Thank you guys for sharing your time. I'll see you in the next live stream.